Hi there, it's Jill Blanchett again with my Daisy Daydream Paper Pumpkin alternates. This was the kit for March. Here's the second card that we're going to make, and you will use a one of the yellow cards. You can use the full card, and we're going to cut it down. So we're actually going to get 2 cards out of the 1 card, if that makes sense. So we're going to cut it down. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut the card down to 5 1/4 by 4 and save the beehive piece. And then the front, you'll want to make sure that you cut, goes like this. So we're going to use this piece for another card. So you want to cut 2 3/8 up from like the bottom, so that you have all these flowers saved for the next card. And then this piece is 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. And we'll use a bee and a little hive, and then the daisy that goes on here. So let's get going. I've got 8 1/2 this way by 5 1/2 piece of just white cardstock. Score it at 4 1/4. Fold it and burnish on that score real well. I've got a mossy meadow layer that is cut on the 1/8, so it is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Eighths are nice for just leaving a little tiny smidge of the undercolor. Then we'll go ahead and glue on the hives piece. So again, we've got just a little tiny border because this is finishing off. And this is the 5 1/4 by 4" portion. I don't really think it matters which side is up or down. All right. Then, because this piece was 2 3/8 by 3 3/4, I've cut a mossy meadow piece at 2 1/2 by 3 7/8. And we're going to go ahead and glue that on. And the cards in this kit were very, very nice. Hard to come up with alternates, but it's just, I'm not saying that they're better, they're nicer, any of that. I'm just saying there's something different that you can do. The kits are getting so nice that I hate to make alternates. They're just hard to come up with, stuff to do with them that they're already so pretty. All right, so we're just going to glue that on the front. You could pop that up if you wanted. Hopefully that looks pretty centered. It does look a little crooked. I think I'm dipping down a little bit. We'll pull it up just a hair. All right. Then we're going to find the big flower right here in all of the pieces and parts. So we're looking for the one with a couple of, this big one down here by the bees. And then we're just going to, maybe this isn't the right one. Yes. We're just going to line that up on top of the card, kind of like it was designed to do. We're just going to pop it up. You can get your Wink of Stella. You can and add some extra to the flowers. That would be pretty. You could just leave it the way that it is. I'm not putting this flower on because we're going to put the other pieces around it. So I've got one of the little bees. Actually, they're not little. They're quite large bees. And we're going to glue that down to the lower right. Down here. It's going to be coming on to the page. Then we have I just have a 1/2 inch strip of basic white, and we're going to put happy birthday on this one. That's one of the stamps that came in the kit. There it is. Just going to set that down. Ooh, we need to wipe that off. Good thing I got dark pants on. And we'll just pick that up. And then I'm going to stamp the happy birthday in Mossy Meadow. That looks pretty good. And then I'm just going to cut them off at an angle. Like that. We're going to take our little hive piece now. And then I'm just going to put some glue on it. I know it's touch and go with these little hive pieces, but hard to glue that. All right, we're going to leave it like that. And then I'm just going to get some dimensional. I basically just want to get that secured on there. And if you used a long enough piece of dimensional, it would be secured on there without gluing it either. So, your choice. And then we're just going to pop that up here in the top area so that it's doing its own little thing. Actually, I think I used black on that one, but I like the Mossy Meadow better. And then the inside, oh, well, that stinks. The inside I just left blank, like this. But yeah, you could stamp some bees in there or whatever you wanted. But this is the second card. Again, nothing way out willy hard or anything, but it will help you stretch your supplies to make more cards if you wanted to try and make something a little different than what the kit has to offer. So thanks for watching, and I'll be back with the next card.